If you're shy or just a little introverted and don't want to show your face, but still want to make some money online, the good news is some of the most wealthy people I know are shy and introverted. And today I'm going to show you actual proven ways to make passive income, even if you don't want to show your face, you don't want to get on sales calls, and don't want to have to do anything like that. For example, here's a Faceless YouTube channel making $10,000 a month. They don't have to do any sales calls or anything like that. And then here's an Amazon affiliate site making more than $6,000 a month. All passive businesses that run on autopilot after setting them up. You don't need to be charismatic. You don't need to be on camera. And you don't need a massive following. So if you're an introvert and you don't want to become an influencer, then stick around because this is the video for you. And real quick, if you want videos that are proven and backed by actual ways to make money online from somebody who's done it firsthand themselves, then make sure to hit subscribe for the new videos every single week. Let's dig right in. Now, there's a lot of controversy around these and understanding what the future is going to hold for Faceless YouTube channels. In general, I think if you're creating faceless content and you have an avatar or you're doing it in a way that doesn't rely heavily on AI, then you're likely going to be in the clear. But if you're putting out AI generated slop, you're likely not going to be monetized in the future. So how do you actually create a long-term faceless YouTube channel that can make money? Well, for example, I've got a business here that's valued at $670,000. It's a faceless YouTube channel that I'm actually helping co-broker via Empire Flippers. And so here's how it actually works if you know nothing about this industry. Faceless channels are usually animation channels. They can be motivational as well, news breakdowns, compilation videos, relaxation or meditation channels, tutorials, list style documentaries. And again, there is a lot of AI stuff out there, but I would really highly advise against it if you're going to be building on YouTube. The good thing about this is you can outsource just about everything. The YouTube, the title, the scripting, and then the actual audio recording can be done by audio professionals, real people who are recording these scripts. And so basically, with one or two people on your team, you can build a business that's generating $20,000 to $30,000 a month fairly passively. All you really need is somebody who can handle the scripting and the ideation of the video, and then another person who can put all the edits and everything together. The great thing about this business is you can do everything by email. You just go on Upwork, hire a few specialists in each one of these areas, and then just pay them by the hour, do a few test projects, make sure that they're coming up with good content, and then you're just kind of playing the quarterback, putting everything together. And then you publish the videos and start generating money. And so how do you actually monetize a faceless YouTube channel? So there's a few variety of different ways. The biggest way is likely going to be through YouTube's AdSense model, where they pay you basically per views and what type of niche. So when you're selecting your niche, you probably want to understand a little bit about how you're going to monetize it. For example, the finance niche is going to get paid a lot more than something that's in, let's say, for example, entertainment. And then the other ways are going to come from channel sponsors, affiliates, and if you want to really get creative, you can make your own products that correlate to that niche. Here's one of the most passive ways to make money online if you're introverted. And again, it's great because you can write books and then make money for writing books. Now, there's a lot of people who write books and have never made a dollar, and there's a lot of people who are writing lots of books and making a ton of money, but you really need to understand how this business model actually works. Amazon KDP has been around for a while. I actually have a best-selling book on Amazon, and I've helped broker and sell multiple KDP niches. The general grasp for a KDP business that's going to be faceless and just there to make money, you basically need to be putting out around 20 books. These are going to be in a certain niche or in certain series. For example, in certain series like romance or dating or this fiction industries, you're going to be putting out a series, and each series is going to be leading and building upon the other one. Essentially, the first two books in the series are going to be a break even or lose money, but then you start making a lot more money when you're putting out book number 3, 4, or 5 because you've built up an audience, you've built up a streamlined gain for this. And in general, that's the way that I've seen a lot of people do this. There's other strategies, but in general, you do have to put a lot of output. You have to make good quality. And a lot of that starts in where are the gaps in the industries and the niches that I can fill by making an Amazon KDP book. I've seen KDP businesses making $5, $10, $20, even $30,000 a month and upwards. And many of their books aren't even books. They can also be journals, planners, logbooks, coloring books, cookbooks, puzzle books, or simple how-to guides. And you can publish as many as you want. Again, just a small caveat here that I do think Amazon is very carefully going to be cracking down on just AI slop or AI generated content that hasn't been actually tried and tested. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually curate books moving forward, but that's something to be aware of.
If you guys like that part, you're gonna love this. I'm giving away my best-selling book for absolutely free, and here's how you can get the audiobook in just a few seconds. Inside this book is the same techniques I've used to work abroad in paradise in more than 100 different countries. And the best part, this strategy hasn't just worked for me, it's helped hundreds of thousands of people earn more, work less, and travel the world. I'll leave a QR code here where you can get the audiobook for free with a free 30-day Audible subscription.
So if you're somebody who prefers writing instead of talking, then this industry could be a goldmine for you. It's called AdSense or just ad websites. Again, AdSense is the most popular, but there's a few other businesses out there like Mediavine that actually pay higher amounts of money per impressions and per click. AdSense are typically websites or simple blogs that earn money every time somebody visits, sees an ad, clicks it. You write the articles and then get those articles ranking well on Google. Google sends you traffic and then you earn passive income. There are small websites earning $300 a month, and giant niche sites making $80,000 to $100,000 per month, and a bunch of others in between. The great thing about Amazon AdSense sites or ad websites is they're fairly passive. It can likely take 2 to 3 months of research, getting the initial articles together, and then putting the website out there. That can usually take around 3 months, but the long part with Google is actually going to start driving and generating traffic. Your articles need to be SEO optimized. You need to have some backlink strategy where people are linking to your website and blog, which is also going to show to Google that, hey, this is a good website and blog. We need to send and divert more of our traffic to there. And now with AI, a lot of that traffic that people used to search for on Google is getting sent over to AI. So people are now working on how to optimize your website and blogs to actually be included in AI search. Again, this industry is very slow to start because typically to get articles ranking, unless you have some social media strategy, is likely going to take between 8 to 12 months before you start generating a lot of traffic. And again, you need to be putting out at least 20 to 30 articles in the beginning, and then likely between 2 to 4 per month after that. Now, here's an industry I love, but I don't see that many other people talking about it. It's called drop servicing. Basically, drop servicing is where you just are the middleman. You have a high earning skill set, and then you're basically hiring an employee or contractor that can fulfill the work for you. Essentially, one of the best things out there that I like to use is video editing. You're charging a client $1,000 for, let's just say, 2 videos per month. Then you have a video editor that works for you full time. You're charging them between $400 to $500 per month. You make sure that the quality is up to par before it goes from the video editor to the client, and essentially you keep that $500 per month. Now, this can scale up pretty well. You can have at least 2 to 3 clients for every one video editor, and then you can just scale it up from there. As you get good at it and you understand the industry, you'll just start charging new clients more, and then you could hire a few more video editors for that. The main thing you need to be good at is likely sales and marketing, and understanding how to win those clients through Upwork or Fiverr or other platforms. The great thing about those is unless you're selling something for $10,000, $20,000, you don't really need to get on a call. You can do most of this through email or just through DMs. I've used drop servicing myself to help generate between $10,000 to $40,000 per month with tiny teams and tiny services. And I've also seen huge agencies making $200,000, $300,000 a month with the same exact strategy. They don't have to get on camera. They don't have to show their face. Basically, they're just running things behind the scenes. As long as there's YouTubers, TikTokers, and content creators, drop servicing is going to be a big industry. And it doesn't have to be for video. If you have a skill set in accounting, finance, whatever it is, you can drop service that skill set and just be the person kind of quarterbacking everything. This next one's great if you don't want to have to worry about selling, building up an audience, or trying to figure out marketing. This is creating digital products and then selling them on Etsy or Gumroad. The reason this works so well is because they're already generating a ton of traffic. You just have to go there. There's people in the store and give them what they need. So this is going to be the first step, is just figuring out what are the gaps in the market. What can you either improve or make that isn't there yet, and then give it to people that are already searching. So you can figure out some search terms that are really popular on Etsy. You can say, hey, there's not many products available for this high search volume, and so I can create a few products around that and start selling to the people that are looking for this service. The other technique is to find something that's old, outdated, or doesn't have good reviews. Find something that's super super popular. Maybe it hasn't been updated for a few years, and you could just make a newer version of it. You can look at the reviews that are 2 or 3 stars and figure out, hey, what are people complaining about this that I can improve upon and add into my product or digital product? So this is a great way to figure out what's working and just improve it. This next business model is going to be great if you have an artistic side because it's called print on demand. This is basically where you're figuring out really cool visuals or trending topics, putting those things and visuals on t-shirts and then selling them to the market. One of the biggest print on demand shops out there is Amazon. It's called Amazon Merch, and it's a pretty cool product. Basically on Amazon Merch, you can sell t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, and a few other things. The main idea here is figuring out what people are searching for that doesn't exist yet on Amazon. There's a lot of great things, like for example, if there's new movies, series, or trends coming out, creating something that's going viral, making a bunch of t-shirt options for that, and then making sure it's on Amazon before it comes out. A few examples of this are the upcoming Stranger Things. Again, you don't have the IP to sell their own stuff, but you can maybe take a few quotes from the series or figure out some things that are along the lines that you could create content and visuals for that wouldn't violate that IP. There's a few other popular trends that have happened over the years that nobody has IP on that you can also create intellectual property, phrases, or just text around that space. This side hustle idea is one of the least talked about business models out there, and it's called lead generation. Lead generation is basically where you build small websites or landing pages to attract local customers. This can be used for roofers, landscapers, plumbers, cleaners, realtors, dentists, doctors, lawyers, you name it. People who are busy running their business and don't have a big sales team, they need leads, and then they'll pay you essentially monthly for those leads. There's a few ways to do this where you can just basically say, hey, I'm going to build this website. It's ranking for top lawyers in St. Louis, and I'm going to put your business on there, and I'll charge you, $500 a month to keep you in that top spot. You're going to generate some leads for them. It's going to be a win-win. They're not really tracking it. So again, you're not really paying per lead, where the other method is you're working for lead generation brokers, where basically you're getting paid between 20, 30, and sometimes even upwards to $100 per qualified lead. Those top leads likely need to have a credit score verified, some sort of mortgage opportunities. Again, it's likely going to be in the finance niche, but in general, if you're able to qualify those leads, send them off, you can make a really good value. And so a lot of lead generation sites are disguised as quizzes, and basically these quizzes give them some sort of benefit to take it, and then afterwards they're just selling those leads to another broker. So again, if you're looking for some passive income, these are great options. And if you've found success with passive income skills, leave a comment below. And if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to leave another one up here that was hand selected for you. And again, don't forget to hit subscribe and like for the new videos I'm putting out every single week.